welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Had some beautiful weather around here lately. They say possible rain, though, might be coming through.
But when that rain comes through later today, it also brings another cold front.
Okay.
It's going to be nice and chilly again.
Okay.
All right, so we got some turtleneck weather.
Mm-hmm. I'm all right with it. I'm okay with South Florida chilly.
Me too.
Yeah. Going up north, I realized I'm not cool with that chilly. That ain't fun.
You were in 6-degree temperature. That is bullshit.
It was miserable. It really was. It was just tough sitting through 2 outdoor football games.
Oof.
Yeah, I was talking to your husband today because he's a Buffalo Bills fan, and they're talking about rebuilding the stadium and not making it a dome. To me, that's sick and sadistic.
Those Buffalo people are different, baby. They're built different. They rally and they bring like hundreds of volunteers to the stadium, show up every morning there's a home game.
Yeah.
And the people clean the arena for free of snow. They dig it out themselves with their hands in their snowsuits. Some of these guys show up shirtless and do it. Like, they are different in Buffalo.
Their anger keeps them warm.
Their anger from going to 4 Super Bowls and not winning one.
Yes, it does. It keeps a person warm.
And they all feel like if they contribute to the betterment of the stadium, it's good karma for getting the Bills possibly in the Super Bowl this year, which is, by the way, in New Orleans during Mardi Gras.
Some of the cities feel like it's an advantage for their team that is built to play in that kind of weather, and teams like the Dolphins come up there, and Dolphins don't fare too well typically in cold weather games. So I guess that's what they think is the advantage. So they would rather sit out and maybe they're not miserable. I am. So I appreciate cities like Detroit, Indianapolis, that are cold cities that have dome stadiums, which I believe is how it should be done. It's an entertainment event. I mean, imagine watching a movie outside in minus 10-degree weather. You wouldn't do it. But that's just me. I know Cleveland, I think they're going to be building a new stadium, and there's a big debate in that city about whether or not they have a dome or not. Minneapolis has a dome now. That just seems like that's nice to your citizenry. But they keep making them.
Louisiana has a dome. We don't need one.
I know, right? Of all cities that have a dome, Atlanta's got a dome. They don't necessarily need it.
It'd be cool to have a dome for your backyard. That's the kind of shit you want.
Remember when Kevin told our old producer he wanted to build a dome over that lake?
Yes, I do.
I must have been drunk that day.
He wanted it to be a retractable dome.
Well, I was there.
I didn't know how that happened.
I was there when
What was I thinking?
When she was looking it up. And it was like a fucking scene from a movie.
What was it, a full dome?
We wanted to
I had to be on something.
We were doing something to where you wanted to somehow try to.
You wanted to build
What was I
a
trying to do?
retractable
We were trying to
dome.
do a
That didn't
bit.
even make sense. Like, why would I even say that?
I forget the bit, but it was something where we wanted a covering of the lake. And you wanted, I remember the meeting ended with retractable roof. And she sure as shit, I mean, up until 5 p.m., calling motherfuckers. And finally she goes, I don't know how to get a retractable roof.
Yeah, it didn't even make sense. I can't imagine what I was asking for.
Fucking snapped.
You probably said it and immediately forgot you said it. And then she worked on it all day.
Oh, poor girl. Yeah, I don't know what I said or what I was trying to get, but yeah, I need to communicate better.
You wanted a retractable dome.
Yeah, I don't even get for what.
And we were doing a bit out there. I forget the exact bit for Lake Clear Channel, but it was something to where something to block it in case it rained.
It would have looked nice.
Oh, look.
Would it?
On paper, this
With
thing.
no budget making a retractable dome?
Look, on paper, this thing was popping, baby.
Yeah, that didn't even make sense. I didn't know what the request was. Yeah, I wish I knew. Because I had to have been going through a medical episode or on amazing amount of drugs or something. Yeah, I don't even know what that would have been about. It's crazy. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, we can't get video and audio together usually. So why am I thinking we're going to get a retractable roof?
Well, that was before you were beaten down and you still had spirit.
Yeah, that's back when you still had ideas and you thought of things were possible.
I mean, this is probably year one when I'm on the show. So
that was when you were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I was too fresh out of Z100 in New York where actually shit could happen.
Where they could actually make a retractable dome if they wanted to.
Right, big things happen when you throw it out there. Big, I want to do this. Sure, Elvis, no problem.
So much spirit.
Yeah. I learned pretty quick. Small market radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't got no budget for that.
We're not getting that. What are you talking about? This story with Luigi Mangione. Still didn't get an answer from Italians on if it's Mangione or Mangione. I've been going with Mangione, but I don't know.
If your last name is Mangione or Mangione, how do you say it? That's the people that I want to talk to. The people that are in it, living that Mangione life.
Right. How do you say it?
How do you say your last name?
Well, it's got all those elements of what we love. You know, you've got murder in there. Americans love murder. It's a murder of somebody that was powerful and wealthy. It's a CEO. Guy that was worth $43 million that had a $10 million a year salary. It's something that so many Americans are relating to. The healthcare industry. And let me tell you, the medical industry is broken. Somebody was texting in today, too. So true. And they're saying, a big part of it's also the hospital. They went in, they had something that you could have fixed with a pill and this and that, just sent them on their way. $23,000 bill. You
do wonder sometimes, when you go do medical stuff, do they really have your best interest at heart, or are they really trying to get that extra dollar? And if you feel like they're trying to get that extra dollar before them taking care of your health, it leaves a shitty taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
You have to learn to be your own advocate or an advocate for a family member, but it requires you getting in it and doing the medical research and figuring out, and it's a part-time job to advocate for yourself or someone else with a serious illness.
And I don't know if it was always like that. I feel like I think you should always be an advocate for your own health, but I do feel like, to your point, you got to go through more hoops, and
you never had to beg them to treat you right.
It does seem a little bit different. Even when I was telling you guys, going to regular practitioners, it just had a different fast food feel to it, if that makes sense. Kind of
totally.
Like, next number, and I don't remember it always being that way.
Move them in, move them out.
Yeah.
You're just cattle.
And so this person was talking about how their insurance company saw that ridiculous bill for something that should have been $23 instead of being $23,000. And they're like, no, they're trying to overcharge you. We're not going to pay it. And that's where you wind up, the victim, in between all this, where you've got the hospital and the insurance companies that are fighting it out. It's like, look, I just want to get a prescription for this to cure what ails me, which is what you guys are supposed to do. Yeah, the American health industry is broken right now, and it needs somebody to come in, blow it up, and fix it, because it is no bueno. And that's why people are motivated by this story. Now, another part of it, too, you've got an assassin who is intelligent and attractive with great abs.
Great eyebrows, great hair.
Yep. And you throw all this into a mix, and I can see why so many people are into this story. It's got all the fascinating points to it. And now, of course, you're starting to get the conspiracy that comes with it. Michelle said somebody sent these photos, and they said, look at the photo that they had from the cameras in New York City when they were tracking him. And then look at the photos they have of him now in the mugshots. And the photos that we know is Luigi Mangione. He has thicker eyebrows than the guy who had the mask on. You can see what happened. Did his eyebrows grow that fast in 4 days?
Oh, boy, here we go.
Here we go with the conspiracies. People saying they got the wrong guy.
Dang.
It's not him, but the
His
guy
lawyer's saying they got the wrong guy.
Well, the guy that they got, again, remember, he had a gun on him. He had a manifesto. He had everything. And that was the guy that they picked up at the McDonald's.
What am I, the lawyer's defending his client, saying it's not him? What?
Right. And a text we got from Broward County said in the 954, not sure if you guys had talked about this yet, but if you looked up the rules for the $60,000 reward for the McDonald's employees that called the police on him, it's super complicated because $10,000 of it was from New York City, $50,000 was from the federal government. It's going to take years for them to get any of that money if they get it at all.
And is it just for the information, or does it have to lead to a conviction? So they may have to wait for the trial and the conviction to then get paid.
Who knows?
If the guy even did it, I think he's innocent.
Oh,
If the eyebrows don't match, let him out the hatch.
she does not speak for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna speak for you, Kevin. She doesn't speak for you either.
Yeah. I think this is a dude that was twisted by pain, and he was frustrated and angry, and you can't justify what he did, but I do have an empathy and an understanding of how he probably got to that point. I've had that kind of and Bert, I know you've dealt with back pain and things like that. Sometimes when you are in a certain pain, it gnaws at your brain and you can't ever get comfortable.
Yeah, it does. It changes your mood, especially if you get your sleep fucked with, and that's what happens with me.
Right.
If I don't sleep for a couple days, it changes your mood, and it's terrible. Absolutely.
You can become a person you never thought that you would. And that's what people, especially who went to the prep school with him, who knew him likely before he had the back injury that probably drove him to what he did. They just said, this is the last person on earth you would think of that would do this. And that kind of stuff can happen. I think, a lot of times people do things that they're driven to do. There have been circumstances that led up to it. It's not in their heart of hearts that they're an evil, nasty person. They just got twisted in the process.
That's why I've been sucking at the no-name movie games so badly, because of my hip. I can't get focused.
Why'd you suck in 2023?
It was my shoulder back then.
2010?
It was my other hip.
You have a long-standing reputation of suck.
Mm-hmm. And Allison said CEOs are the new oligarch, and it is corrupt. And there are a lot of companies that are getting security now for their CEOs. And that's another thing. As I talk about the health and insurance industry being broken, what CEOs in America are making and the wealth disparity, it's an issue as well. You are going to be a mark when people are struggling, can't pay bills, have all these real life problems, and you're worried about buying your third boat or a second helicopter. That's where people get really upset. And especially when they need a little bit of money from your company and they're paying you instead $10 million a year. So I understand a lot of the feelings that go behind this. I do not justify at all what was done. It's terrible. Wrong path. But the feeling and the anger that people have, I get it.
Should he have just shot out his kneecaps and then ran?
No.
Because I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, maybe he should have just shot his kneecaps and then fled. Then he wouldn't be dead. He wouldn't be up for murder, but he still would have got his point across.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think you do something else. And there are people, and the one thing he had said, he was tipping his cap to the Unabomber who said, it's become evident to me that peaceful protest does not work. And I think that's why he got to the violence he did, because he felt like him trying to make noise the right way was not being heard. And he said, I need to do something else to make a statement.
But just something for the future. If you are going to guidance for the, to the Unabomber, that might be a sign. You might want to just take a beat.
Yeah.
Maybe sit down and talk to somebody.
If the Unabomber is your muse.
Yeah, if that's who's speaking to you, I do suggest sitting down with somebody.
I know there are people that look up to him because this is a guy that was intelligent, that baffled authorities for as long as he did. The only thing about the Unabomber I would say is I'm really lost on what was his message and why he bombed. What is it? Three people, I think, that he wound up killing. And who were they? They were civil servants or professors or something like that. At this point, I don't even remember. So to me, for the Unabomber, if you are trying to make a statement, it's lost on this generation guy.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what old Kaczynski was doing. I know he was not happy. I know he was a loner. I know he was I get all that. I get why people try to romanticize. We can't glorify killing people.
No, never.
We just can't.
No.
Ted Kaczynski, that's his name?
Ted Kaczynski, yes.
He killed computer store owner Hugh Scruton. He also killed an advertising executive named Thomas Mosser and a timber industry lobbyist named Gilbert Murray.
Was there motive listed in that story you're looking at? for as to why he decided that he needed to kill those people with the letter bombs he had.
I mean,
I just know he had a
pretty
hatred.
long story.
He had a hatred towards society. He kind of was. He became lone wolf and wanted to prove a point.
He sent 17 bombs in total, injuring around 25 people. The ones that didn't die, though, some of them lost their vision, hearing, or fingers. So 17 bombs. That's a lot.
That is.
He was pissed at everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just was pissed.
Yeah, and I wonder what happened with him along the way and how he got twisted. Probably living alone out there.
Well, I think
having, being isolated like that, you probably lose a little touch of humanity.
Well, I think he already was losing touch with humanity, and that was one of the reasons why he went out to the woods, was because he didn't want to be around. I think, like Virginia said, he was pissed, and he just wanted to bring people down. But there's a reason. There was a method to his madness, at least according to him. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
But he was trying to send a message.
It made sense to him what he was doing. Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be a fascinating story to see where this goes and if there are any other details that will come out of it and what will happen in the meantime. If there's anything, if one person had to die from all this, then hopefully some reform will start happening in some of these industries. I doubt it will, but it would be nice.
Just know, when I say I want to go out to the woods, I am not talking about becoming a Kaczynski. It's not that.
Yeah,
That's
not going to be making letter bombs.
No.
Oh, my God. Could you see these hamburger hands making a bomb?
I could. I just don't think it would wind up getting sent.
If I do send one, I know the first person I'm sending it to.
I'm safe.
Yeah.
Your fucking hamburger hands, meat knuckles.
Don't you dare turn me into Brett Kaczynski.
He would send food bombs.
That's not. You open it up and just
steak bomb.
I think meatball just explodes on you.
Some emails here about the Jamie Foxx special. And Danielle said, yeah, I watched it last night. I'm right there with Virginia. I was hoping he was thinking there was going to be some Diddy news, but he goes right into it, talking about how, it was a brain bleed that basically took him out. So she said, yeah, it's crazy stuff. If you've ever heard anybody with those aneurysm stories, it is nuts. And it's one of those things that I don't think about it often because it freaks me out.
I can't think about
Well, it starts with a headache.
All right.
So how many amongst us have got a headache?
Not listening.
And then you're like, well, shit, is this just a headache? Should I take an aspirin or should I take my ass to the hospital? It's a pretty tricky slope because now you're hearing him going, it started with a headache and then I was in a coma for 20 days.
Well, that's what sucks. If you do suffer from panic attacks, I'm talking full-blown panic attacks.
Yeah.
They sometimes can mimic what a heart attack can feel like. So you can trick. You think you're having a heart attack when you're having a panic attack, and the whole time you're going, well, if it's just a heart attack, you'll be fine. Calm down.
I've had panic attacks before where everything, like I lost my vision.
Yes.
Twice. 2 different times I had a panic attack, lost my vision. One of them I stripped down naked in a Burger King bathroom. The other one I was alone in my dorm room at LSU by myself. But both times I lost all vision. I thought I was dying.
Yeah, it can happen. That sometimes will happen to me if I have a full blown my hearing and my I don't go dark or anything, but I feel like my vision's going in and out. I never go blind, but it does fuck up your vision.
All I
a
could
bit.
hear was the loudest ringing in my ears. I couldn't hear any real sounds. It was just loud ringing and fade to black.
You don't feel real. You kind of feel like you're not real. It's an odd feeling.
It's very odd, and you think you are dying.
If you don't know what's happening to you and you've never had, that's always usually the report of a first panic attack. Someone will be in a restaurant or something, and they think they're dying, and they're just having a panic attack.
So you haven't passed out. You're standing upright, and you have no vision?
You eventually buckle over like I did, and you're crawling around blind on the floor. It's super fun.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds
blind
like
I've never heard of, but I've heard going in and out of it.
It happened to me twice. I lost vision and hearing.
I wonder how that medically is explained.
She didn't
why you
realize
lost vision.
They just turned the lights out.
It was in the daytime, bitch.
I can't see. You turned the light out.
You hit the light switch.
While you were freaking out, you were flailing, hit the light out.
I was stone cold sober both times, too. It was the middle of the day.
And Sarah sent an email. She said Jamie Foxx did mention Diddy at the beginning of the special,
He did.
but in what reference, I don't know, and I haven't seen it yet, so maybe I'll try to check out a little bit of it today and see if it's any audio worth playing.
I thought you watched it. Did you have a panic attack and your vision go out?
I didn't watch it. It just came out.
Oh, okay. I thought you
It came out 24 hours ago, motherfucker. I've been busy.
just making jokes.
Ugh. I wish you would have a panic attack.
That's the terrible thing to wish upon somebody. I'm over here trying to be light and fun, and you're wishing panic attacks. That's pretty fucked, Kev.
I hope you have two.
That's even more fucked.
Got this email here from Jason. He said he's in Deerfield. He said, I saw this and thought about your dad, talking about another brain thing. It is a story about how research has revealed a link between the thickness of a certain brain region and vulnerability to financial exploitation in older adults.
Oh, boy.
And that makes sense, and that's what I was alluding to the other day. I was suspecting that there might be something like that because of the stories I have been hearing of people that you have sensible adults that for some reason at some point in their life start giving away all their money. And you're like, what?
What are you doing?
You wouldn't have done this when you're 40, 50, 60, but now you hit this age and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, take it, whatever, go ahead. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, with what my dad did in the last year, you're like, wow, okay.
Do you have any updates for us on your dad? Are those people still in his house?
They're gone.
They're gone.
Yep.
They packed all their stuff and left?
Yep.
Your
They're
dad
out.
gave him the money?
He gave him the $1,900 for first and last, and I had sent that text. I'm like, Dad, please, no more, stop. And so he was like, okay.
They
Kinda
got
with that
out,
tone.
huh? They got him out.
Is he
They're
going
gone.
to change the locks?
I don't know. I'll ask him and see how he's approaching it. Now, he has had a cold. He's been down and out the last 2 days or so because I had sent that request over the weekend asking if, it would be a good idea for me to get on his accounts so that I could kind of see what was going on. But I will tell you, his receptionist, since we made contact, she's doing a very good job. She's the one that let me know that he was kind of down and out, so I was able to ask more pointed questions about his health and things like that. So it's good to have, in a sense, spies or people that are there trying to help nudge Dad in the right direction.
But she's one of the ones that got a $20,000 check, so we're not going to just believe her carte blanche either.
What? That the
Is she
people
getting
moved
more
out?
checks? Is she getting more checks?
No, I think she got what money she got. And, gave me full disclosure on what it was about and all that. And
Did
wanted
she
me
agree
know
to
about
not
it.
ask your dad for any more checks in the future?
Dad has said he's not going to pay out any more money. So I have had that conversation with him. I did not say to her, don't ever ask him for money again. I just said, thank you for the disclosure. I appreciate your honesty. And that's how we did that. That's all that was said there.
Do you know
You
what?
can say it kind, but I think it does need to be said to her since she got a $20,000 check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know when it was that she got it and all that kind of good stuff.
It don't matter.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's nice. So she's kind of cooperating and letting me know what's going on. So as Dad let me know they left, she did it as well and said, yeah, they're out. I'm like, cool.
I'm just getting a vibe. Virginia's just saying, keep an eye on the receptionist.
Keep an eye on everybody, Kevin.
Yeah.
No one is to be trusted.
Okay.
I trust you guys.
Well, I thought you said that they were going to have to force them out of the house, though, Virginia.
That's why I'm worried about these locks. That's why I'm worried about this bank account. Like, what do they have access to? What about all that stuff in the basement that you just said they were accumulating all these things and things and things? Who paid for all those things?
I think he did. It was some baby stuff. One of it was a truck tire, so I got a little bit of an inventory as to exactly what it was that they had in there, and apparently that's all been packed up and is gone. But yeah, I'm still trying to investigate. Like I said, with Dad being ill the last couple of days, it's gone a little slower than, what I'm, comfortable with going.
But let's celebrate the initial win here.
Yeah.
Get out of there, baby. That's a win. in
That
my
is.
opinion.
That was step one. Then the next step is hopefully getting on Dad's accounts and being able to keep a forensic look at what he's doing with his spending. And if we get to that point, and then I want to get somebody to clean his place, and then with everybody watching over him, I think we'll be in a good management place with Dad. So
That is good news.
yeah, so I think we're getting there. And every day I'm trying to, take it a little bit faster and further. But yeah, so far the updates are good.
That's a good win right
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is an email from Danielle about when to call the police. It was an interesting thing. She saw her neighbor laying in the middle of the road, and she called her husband, who was a paramedic, and said, "Hey, what should I do?" And he said, "Yeah, call 911." And, she didn't know if the guy was drunk or what was going on, and turned out he was having one of these diabetic spells.
Oh, that
And-
happens.
Yeah.
And they appear intoxicated, but they're not.
Yeah.
It's just they've bottomed out with their sugar or whatever, and they act really weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, she said, when in doubt, it's better to be safe than sorry. And I think the dispatchers at 911 will be thankful and happy that you did. They get silly, dumbass calls. That's not one of them. It's just a concerned citizen trying to get people to help in the fastest possible way.
So I ordered a cheeseburger and there's no cheese on it. What the fuck, man? Can you send out the cops?
And got Roger sent this in for Jaybird. If you're looking for a fantastic recliner, Macy's in Wellington has a great recliner.
Wow.
And they have some really nice sofa recliners as well.
Whoa.
I told you, Macy's does have a really nice furniture department, as does Bloomingdale's right there in the Gardens Mall close to your house.
Yeah. I love it.
Virginia's right to go to Macy's in Wellington or Gardens. They have a good selection at the Wellington Mall. Go see Lee. We just bought some sofas from there, and it was a great price. Costco also has a nice recliner as well.
Costco. Now, can I buy those in bulk?
Yep.
That's my Costco joke.
Okay.
It's always a bulk joke.
Yeah. You use it in bulk, and that's great because it never goes out of style. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing one of those BJ's things. Denny's kind of talked me into when he's talking about how much you can get if you're a teacher right now. I think it was like $25 for the year or something like that.
That's
I was like,
a good deal.
Absolutely insane.
Our
Yeah.
sweet Denny's was just going on and on about BJ's. I go, dude, do you work for them? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
He loved them.
Yeah, and I love that. I love places that take care of teachers. My wife's a teacher, and so I told her about it and said, yeah, I might want to look into that, especially if you can get half-price booze, which he was talking about. That's how affordable it is, and the gas. That alone. That'd probably be the only two things I might ever get there, but that'd be worth it.
He was grilling me about soda prices. He goes, well, how much, you pay at Publix? I was giving the price point there. He goes, how much Walmart? I was telling him all the places. Go, look, dude, you can buy so much more. And not only sodas, you have juices, all kind of stuff there that you can buy a fuck ton in bulk
Oh, yeah. Okay.
at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Is the store itself smaller than a Costco, or is it just as big?
Denny's!
I've never been inside of a BJ's.
Yeah, I remember we broke it down between the Sam's Club, BJ's. And I remember we kind of, certain places have different advantages. And I don't remember how we had that broken down.
You got your Costco, you got your BJ's, you got your
Sam's Club,
your Sam's.
Restaurant Depot.
That one's, I wouldn't say that. Don't you have to have a special card for that?
No, anybody can get it. You just have to be in a business where you provide food to the employees. Every business can get one.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you don't have a business and you want to just go? Like, what if you don't have a food business and you want to get?
They could do it here. The girls that run HR here could apply for a card there and get it. No problem.
Okay.
How much did you say you would save on the alcohol at
So
BJ's?
I noticed it was a lot less.
Okay.
So the way it works, I'd say, is if a grocery store sells 10 toilet papers for $10.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to BJ's, you're still gonna pay $10, but you're gonna get double the amount. That's kind of how I saw it. So you're not if you're trying to save or spend less, you're probably not gonna spend less. You'll spend the same, but you're gonna get double the quantity.
Okay.
So it's
In the
worth
long
it.
run, you're
In the long run,
winning.
it is where you are winning if you're paying that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sign up right now, I think for normal people is pretty low. For teachers, I think it's $25 for the entire year. I just looked.
Okay.
So
Somebody said right now they're doing a deal where it's like $15 for everybody. That's one comment in the chat.
$15 for everybody.
That's what.
But then teachers are 25.
yeah, that's weird.
That's bullshit.
I mean, we just signed up on.
That's called the fuck you teacher deal.
damn.
They must
know.
have just started it. Yeah, we were there on Sunday, so it was definitely 25.
That blows.
Yeah, that's legit.
Just like a BJ. I get it. Very
Yeah.
good.
And Tom said I paid $20 for Sam's Club. All
So
right.
Sam's is running. So I think because there's a new BJ's here locally. I noticed that Sam's Club and Costco are both running sales as well. Whichever one you decide to go with, I'm not here to start a war over it. But if whichever one you pick, they definitely are less, and you get a bigger quantity of.
See, Costco is sexy because you can get the pizza, you can get the pretzel or the dog. Does BJ's, does Sam's, do they have any sidebar area?
Bakery, pharmacy,
They
fruit,
have all that stuff.
alcohol.
Yeah. They're all very much the same. It even has
Interesting.
the same style of layout where you walk in, the liquor store is on the left side, and then you walk in straight. There's the pharmacy in the back. On the left is where you could buy pizza slices, snacks, hot dogs.
You're
whatever.
going on record right now saying there's BJ's slices of pizza.
I mean, I didn't go to the snacks thing, but they have a concession, so I didn't look at their snacks.
Tennies.
I'm not in there for the
Denny's.
snacks. I'm not like a bird.
We're trying to get information here, and you're not helping the show.
Liquor in the front.
They got liquor up front.
Liquor in the front, BJ's in the back.
Yeah, BJ's got liquor up
Sounds
front.
like my kind of place.
But yeah, I noticed soda packs. They don't sell 12 packs; they sell 24 packs. But it's the same price as a 12 pack from one of the regular stores.
Now you're talking dirty to
Go
Jason.
slow
Yeah.
for me, baby.
Everybody's got a reason to love this conversation.
Liquor in the front.
How them buns though in that bakery?
Oh, bones are going off.
Yeah.
It was real nice.
They buttered up nice.
It's cool because they have different. I know where you guys are going. They have different frozen foods than I normally see at other places. So that was kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Got some different frozen foods.
What kind of frozen foods? Any frozen pie?
Hair pie.
They only had hair pie.
Alyssa said, Jaybird, buy a love sack. They now have recliners too.
A nutsack.
You know how much Love Sack costs?
They're super expensive. I've looked into them.
They're like
Love sack.
10 grand minimum.
What does a love sack do?
So remember my neighbor?
Let me show you.
Does it massage them balls?
Love sack.
You know my
baby.
neighbor that gave me her old sofa, and I'm like loving it. So
No, but I'll act like, yeah, I remember.
I told you the story, dummy.
I know, I love it.
So she bought a love sack, and I went and sat on her love sack the other night when I was at her house.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was comfy.
Nice.
Was it?
Oh, but it was 10 grand.
10 grand cozy.
That's the problem with Love Sack because they have other brands of the same exact thing.
I don't have 10 grand, so for me, it's not in the picture.
So my friend got one in college. This was a while back, so I'm sure they've gone up in price.
In
But
college?
yeah, Love Sack's been around forever.
Damn.
So it was right when they first came out. They're giant bean bags for anyone wondering. That's essentially, and then they kind of moved into furniture. He had it was a couch, but it was a beanbag couch. It had the shape of a couch, but it was filled with beans.
Oh, they've gotten much more
It's
advanced than
it was
that.
so nice though.
Now they are tricked out, but they're still cozy, comfy. But they're 10 grand.
They got the beans?
But I think he even paid. It was way more than a normal couch.
How much did he pay?
It was like $800.
Wow, that's
It was
a lot
back then
for
too.
college.
Well, because you could get a normal couch for $350, $400.
Right.
So it was quite an investment. But it was so cool. Anyone who went over there made a comment about it because it was. They also
Yeah.
put cool patterns on them. They're
It's
not.
a showpiece,
They are.
Jaybird.
They're kind of like a
Okay.
showpiece.
You love a showpiece.
Dude, this
Yeah, he
show
does.
pony loves this showpiece.
Yeah. Alyssa's got some suggestions on what to watch as well. She said, Day of the Jackal and Black Doves are great shows on Netflix.
Never heard of these. Have you?
No.
No, and Linda also sent an email. She said, if you like spy thrillers, which I usually don't, but I agreed to watch Black Doves with my husband because he rubs my feet and I really like it.
Well.
And that show I also really like. Okay,
I
that's
did-
2 positives for Black Doves on Netflix.
If I didn't want to watch something, but someone says, I'll rub your feet the whole time, fuck yeah, let's put it on. Hell yeah, let's watch this thing.
Why not? Why not? Other suggestions that we got here. Bird, there is a game called Stardew Valley. It's a farming simulation. Your character leaves office work to start their own farm. Okay, you can have a pet dog, even a pet dinosaur. It's a cozy game, so if Bird plays this game, he can take his time and fully get immersed in the atmosphere of starting his own farm and have his escape to the woods fantasy play out in a video game.
Gosh, I want to go to a farm.
And also the show Kamen Rider Black. It's kind of like Power Rangers, but more dark, as the stakes are more real.
Oh, I like it.
Okay, you can watch the first episode on YouTube, see if you like it or not.
Denny's, he's got a video game boner over here. He's nodding his head. He's like, oh, yeah, I know that game.
Stardew Valley is a very popular game.
It is, okay.
It's very cool. It's a farm simulator.
I like it.
I don't know if you'd like it because it's kind of those. There's a bunch of different styles of games now, but that's kind of like a time waster game, I would say. The thing that makes it better than most time wasters is that it has a lot of heart to the story. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's up your. You want to save the princess. You want to go, jump over some holes and stuff. any game that doesn't have that type of element, Bird's always like, "What kind of game is this?"
I do. I want to jump over some fucking holes.
He wants to jump over some shit. And
I do. I want to win the game.
You're too soft for like Grand Theft Auto.
Who, me?
that game's
Yeah.
awesome.
What are you talking about? Why don't you go play some Q*bert, you old hag?
Yeah, see, the older games are more like games. You're playing them. It's a game. The newer stuff's more interactive movies and stuff.
Well, Denny's wife, she plays this game. Is it The Sims?
So she plays The Sims. Yes.
That's where you just walk around.
So Stardew Valley's like that, except you're on a farm. You can date the people in the town. You can hang out in the town and stuff. But it's kind of like that type of game.
I don't think there's an ending. When
No, there
you
isn't.
Mario Brothers, you save the princess.
Yeah.
There's an ending to the game. I think this is just an existing.
That's why I don't think you'd like it. A lot of these newer games, they go on forever. They never end.
I think you wouldn't like it either, Kevin.
It doesn't sound like my kind of thing.
You want a game that you can beat. There's an ending to it.
Right. Well, and if the descriptor is time waster, yeah.
Yeah, that's its own genre of game.
Yeah. I'm going to stay away from that
No.
category.
No. But Stardew, it is a very popular game. It's made by one person, not even a team. A lot of the indie games are getting real popular now. I think
Okay.
people are just against corporations, corporate anything now. So even corporate games are getting attacked.
Are they?
Virginia, wake up.
I'm listening.
I know. I'll bounce here.
I just saw a new story. They're putting up wanted posters of other healthcare executives all over New York City.
Yeah.
There's an X on the one.
The
and
one
then
that
there's-
died has an X through his face, but then there's like other ones up that just say wanted.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing, where they've talked about CEOs need to get protection and security because, they're marked right now. There is a subsect of people, and they're really scared about a copycat crime.
Well, that was the shit I was wondering when the bullets came out with all the the words on it. I'm going, I wonder if all the other top CEOs and execs are shitting their pants.
Oh,
going,
yeah.
We better go into hiding.
Oh, we like to deny, defend, and depose as well.
Most of the companies now have gone and wiped their websites of all of their administrative information. They're not putting people on there anymore because they're realizing that people are just using it to try to hunt them now. So they're taking all that down, getting their social media wiped and all that stuff.
Crazy.
That's a thing. It's going on. Got an email from Brian. He said, we used to hear them play Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song around Thanksgiving to kick off the Christmas and holiday season. I look forward to hearing it, but I haven't heard it in the last few years. Was it deemed inappropriate by someone? No. We don't play a lot of holiday music. First off on the show, I don't think we've really even played a song yet. Hanukkah's late this year, too. And then also, it's not a new song. I mean, when you look at the time that's passed, that song, 25 years old? Maybe 30?
It's old, man. There's some shit that still seems like it's not that old.
Yeah.
If you really look back, shit, 32 years?
Yeah, so sometimes things that, seem fresh to us are going to be like, wait a minute, Kev. Like, yeah, if you play that, you're talking anyone who is under the age of 40 is like, I don't know what the hell this is.
Some of those references are pretty old now.
Yeah, they are. And that's the other part of it, too. It's a lot of old references.
Well, even with Christmas music in general, the ones that seem to cut through and still stick around are the older ones. What newer ones? I mean, I know there's a few newer ones that stick around, but it's all the old classics.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
No one's writing no new Christmas bangers.
not a lot. And it might take a few years for them to warm up before people really get familiarized with them. I think there have been some really good songs. That one song that I got from Ariana Grande, I think, is a good, relatively recent one. I thought Virginia's pick on the Katy Perry song, that Cozy Little Christmas, I thought that was decent. I like that song.
That Oh Santa with Jennifer
Yes.
Hudson and
Another one.
Ariana Grande.
I like
that is
that too.
my cut.
That's great.
Those are ones that, I'm going to, be warming up. And, hey, in 5-10 years, it'll be like, oh, that's a staple. So
No, you're right.
Yeah.
There's some
a
shit
few.
that-
are
Tori
peeking through.
Kelly's got a version of Sleigh Ride that is just so smooth. It's like butter.
See, I don't look at those as those are just versions of older ones. And yeah, you can slide those in here and there. But what I respect is when you've come up with a new original song.
Yeah, me too. Train's got one that I like.
Yeah,
That's-
the Step Into Christmas.
That's a good song.
I think no, is that no? That's the Elton John one.
It's you heard it I think in a Coke commercial.
Step up, something like that. It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
That's a great song. I like that. I like the Vampire Weekend's holiday song. Holiday, oh holiday.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so there's some that I love throwing in there. There are a few. And Nancy Gelfo wanted to know about Snack Pack songs. Where can I get all the deep cuts?
They're going to be on Spotify over Christmas break.
Okay.
They for some reason got kicked off and we didn't renew it or something. I don't know. They were being dicks about it. We couldn't figure it out, but we've got a handle on it now. We just haven't had time to put them all up, but they'll be on Spotify.
On YouTube, I think we have a category for Snack Pack songs,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
You can see all the music videos.
The videos are popping.
But there's a lot of them that are not on there, and it just takes a lot of time. But yeah, we are absolutely working on it, Nancy.
Okay. And Smita said, hey, you're talking about RJ Gators yesterday, so I want to let you know that there is one in Port St. Lucie there in the Superplay Plaza. It's a pretty nice sports bar restaurant. They hold a lot of local fundraisers there, including Maddie's Fight Foundation.
Oh, we love Maddie's Fight Foundation.
So it's the same kind of RJ Gators, same menu and all that?
Guess so.
Really?
Does Mitch own it like he used to own all of them, or did he sell it to somebody?
Because didn't they go on to start another restaurant, right?
Berry Fresh Cafe.
Which is very good, by the way.
Very good.
I used to always go to RJ Gators. I used to live up in Jensen, so
Yeah.
Oh, he was always the best tail in town.
I tried gator tail for the first time ever there.
It's good, right? It's
It
like
is.
greasy
It's like
chicken.
fishy chicken.
I do love the concept. I honestly think if somebody put some money behind that and they knew what they were doing, they could revive that.
Oh,
I never remember that place ever being empty. It was always, no matter what location it was.
Voodoo Bayou has great gator tail nuggets.
all right.
do
They
good stuff.
actually probably have some of the best I've ever had, including gator tail that I've had in Louisiana. At Voodoo Bayou, they make them delish.
That is funny that RJ Gators is where I tried gator tail for the first time. I think a lot of people did.
It used to go off. I remember when I first was able to start drinking, we went there, and I think they closed, a year or two after that. But
Okay. And she said, by the way, the soundless ATS was awesome yesterday. The chat room was on fire.
they were chatting more than usual.
I know. Yeah.
Making fun of us.
It is up there, though. If you got it without the sound, we corrected it as quickly as we could. So yesterday's episode of the ATS is on the KVJ Show YouTube channel, so you can go and find it.
I think I hid the one without sound, and we put up pretty quickly the one with sound.
Yeah, the one without sound I just deleted.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I
so-
hid it.
Oh,
from it.
you don't want that? You don't think that?
I just so there was no confusion, and I just deleted it forever, so it's gone. So yeah, so the one that is current, when you do stumble upon it, will have audio.
I got to tell you, though, for a good half of the silent podcast, we were about 200 strong for a while.
I couldn't believe how long. Yeah, it was about the same crowd. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, people did a really great job with it yesterday. So thank you very much, and appreciate your patience. So hopefully we've got that problem taken care of, and hopefully for the new year and the holidays, our big gift will be getting a new studio with equipment.
Santa, please bring us a new studio for Christmas.
That's right. Put that in your little bag. All right, y'all. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.